Hey, mama, you've officially made it to 37 weeks. And I know you've probably heard people saying things like, baby could come any day now, or sleep while you can. But here's the thing, there are some really important things happening in your body and with your baby right now that nobody's really talking about. And honestly, some of them might actually surprise you. So today I'm breaking down the truth about 37 weeks, what's normal, what's not normal, and the exact things that you can do to feel more prepared for labor and postpartum. So stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot the difference between early labor signs and just false alarms, how your body is secretly preparing for birth, and what you can do now to make breastfeeding easier later. So, with that being said, let's start with your body right now. At 37 weeks, you're technically considered early term. Now, notice I didn't say full term. That's because true full term is actually around 39 weeks. Babies born at 37 weeks often do really well, but research shows that they are more likely to have issues regarding feeding difficulties, jaundice, or even needing a little extra support compared to babies at 39 to 40 weeks. In fact, here's a fun fact for you. At 37 weeks, your baby's brain is still growing. Actually, it's growing about 1% per day. I know, it's crazy, right? That's one of the reasons why letting your baby cook a little longer is usually best, unless there's some medical reason maybe for an earlier delivery. So if you're feeling done with pregnancy right now, and I know that you are, remember, these last couple weeks matter a lot, especially for your baby's development. Now, let's talk about some of the weird things that happen at 37 weeks. First up, lightning crotch. Yep, that sudden, sharp, shooting pain down low when baby's head presses on your cervix. Now, this is totally normal, but it definitely can catch you off guard, so be on the lookout for that. Also, sudden burst of energy. We call this the nesting instinct, and it's real. Your body is basically saying, let's prep the cave before the baby arrives. Now, let's talk about bathroom marathons. As your baby drops, you may be peeing non-stop. Is it annoying? Yes. But is it also normal? 100%. Now, we should also mention cervical changes. Your cervix may be softening and thinning out, even if you're not having contractions yet. But here's the thing, just because you're having these symptoms doesn't mean that labor is starting today. Which brings me to real labor versus false labor and how to tell the difference. This is where a lot of moms get confused. At 37 weeks, you might start experiencing what's known as Braxton Hicks contractions. Now, if you've been following along week by week, I've explained this previously, but it's always good to have those reminders from week to week because that's really what makes things stick. And if this is your first time here, well, this is something that you definitely need to know. Braxton Hicks are practice contractions that feel like tightening, but usually they don't get stronger over time. They go away if you change positions or drink water, and they're pretty irregular. But real labor contractions, they get closer together, they get stronger and more intense, and they keep going even if you lie down or you drink lots of fluids and you're hydrated. So here's the kicker. If your water breaks, if you have heavy bleeding, or if your baby's movement suddenly decreases, call your provider right away. Those are not wait and see symptoms, okay? All right. Now, here's where it gets practical. What should you do right now to prep for labor and postpartum? Number one, I want you to pack your hospital bag. And I mean for real this time, okay? Don't just throw in a toothbrush. I want you to think about things like snacks, nursing friendly clothes, chargers, and a comfy robe for starters. That's just off the top of my head. There is a PDF below that you can get for free downloaded to help you pack your bag literally in 60 minutes or less. So if that is something that you need help with, don't procrastinate, mama. Click the link below to get that free download. All right, number two, I want you to practice your labor positions. Research shows that upright positions like hands and knees, squats, and leaning forward can all help with labor progress and make your baby's descent smoother. All right, now let's be quick and just talk about perineal massage. Evidence actually supports that starting perineal massage around now can lower your risk of tearing. Yes, it can be awkward, but research shows that it's worth it. Now, again, check the description box below because I have a mini course that will walk you through specifically how to do a perineal massage and how to not tear during your birth. So if that is something that you're really concerned about, maybe you've been up kind of wondering, you've heard all the horror stories, no need to worry, mama. I got you. The link is in the description box. All right, number 4, learn the golden hour plan. The first hour after birth is absolutely crucial for bonding and breastfeeding. Skin to skin and early latching can make breastfeeding so much smoother later on. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a game plan before you go into labor, before you give birth, about how you want that first hour to go. All right, now I also want you to talk to your provider about inductions. This isn't to say that you will have one or that you will need one, but research shows being informed about all these things previous to actually needing to have any of them helps you to make a better informed decision about what's right and what's necessary for you. So I don't want someone to come and talk at you. I want you to be knowledgeable enough so that you can have an informed conversation about your body, your birth, your baby. Okay? I want you to ask questions like, what's your policy on inducing before 39 weeks? Is this a doctor that's going to kind of jump on that? If so, you need to have in mind what you're going to say as your response, right? We want baby to cook a little longer. Now, this is important because sometimes it's offered when it's not actually medically necessary, and you deserve to know your options. So I encourage you to do as much research as you can about induction and what that could potentially look like when it may be necessary so that you can be armed and ready no matter what direction your birth takes, okay? That's being empowered. That's birthing confidently. We're not setting ourselves up for these things, but we are prepared no matter what happens. All right, now this is the part that no one tells you, but it makes a huge difference. Colostrum harvesting. Some moms hand express a little colostrum and they freeze it. If your provider gives you the go-ahead, I want you to consider doing this. This can be a lifesaver if your baby needs extra calories after birth. Also, you don't need to do any aggressive nipple prep. All of that is a myth. You don't need to scrub, toughen, or do other things to your nipples. Your body is already preparing. What you can do is learn good latch techniques ahead of time. Also, know where your support is. Now, let me say that again because baby, when the ships are burning down, you need to know where your help is going to come from, okay? I want you to have a lactation consultant's number saved in your phone before birth. Before birth. Let me say that again. Before birth. Don't wait until you're in tears at 2 a.m., mama. All right. I know 37 weeks can feel like the longest stretch ever. You're uncomfortable, swollen, and maybe even over people asking, haven't you had that baby yet? But think of it this way. Every day your baby stays in is another day that they're building strength for an easier transition to Earthside. As a matter of fact, I want you to try this. Instead of counting down the days, I want you to count up the things that you're doing to prepare for this baby. Every meal that you cook, the bag that you pack, the rest that you take is all part of the journey, mama. Okay, that's your real talk about being 37 weeks pregnant. What's normal, what's not, and how to get through these last weeks with confidence. And if you want to go even deeper and feel fully prepared for birth, labor, and breastfeeding, I want you to grab Bump to Bundle Blueprint. It is not too late, my friend. It's my step-by-step course that walks you through labor, birth, and postpartum recovery so that you can stop Googling at 3 a.m. and actually feel ready. I'll link it below. So tell me in the comments, what's your weirdest symptom here at 37 weeks? What have you noticed? I'd love to hear your stories. You guys know that I love checking in with you from week to week, and we chit chat in the comments. So definitely drop it below. I want to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe so that this will get to the moms who need to hear it the most. Remember, you've got this, mama, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. Until next week, happy birthing.